We love you, Leeds. Hey up, everyone. How you doing, Priestley? Are you well?
I'm good, yeah.
I'm
Looking
good.
forward to this.
You've been itching to
After
come on, haven't you?
after certain things that have been said over the past week, I can't wait.
Just a disclaimer. Yeah, if you're not in a transfer rumour bullshit chat, switch off now. If you don't like watching a combined total of 9,850 BMI, turn off now.
Speak for yourself.
That's just my left leg, but no, it's going to be a laugh. So yeah, Priestley wanted to come on. He's been saying it for a while. He loves getting stuck into all the rumour stuff. You do enjoy it, mate, as much as you just laugh at it. You know, a lot of it's waffle. We all do. You've been taking a note, haven't you, over the previous weeks, going through.
Yeah, literally got about 40 players written down.
There you go. He's got 40 players jotted down. Some are going to be absolute tosh. Some we'll discuss and we'll talk about those possibilities. But yeah, just going through. I told him to put it in some sort of order, so we have got some sort of positional order from goalkeepers through to attackers. But like I say, this is just Priestley's been fancying doing this for a while. You normally do the reviews, don't you? And obviously, no games. He's been thinking of a way to get in and do a video. So this is it, really.
It's been horrible this past 4 weeks with my footy.
It's been awful, hasn't it?
Honestly, it's been. Don't know what I'm doing myself. I don't know what day's what. It's just melding into one.
How are your weekends going anyway, pal? What are you up to on weekends? What are you doing to fill the gap?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
To be honest, if I work one out of every 4 weekends. If I'm not working, I'm just.
Well, you're not shaving. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it till I can get a fresh trim for Creator Cup.
I'm only jealous anyway whenever we talk about facial hair. You know me. I had a little shave yesterday, or should I say, I just a bit of a gust.
Just jealous that mine isn't ginger.
Wind. I know a little bit of Tasha I can get. It's ginger. Not wrong with gingers, though, mate. Not wrong with gingers. Let's see who's in the house anyway today. Please smash a like on. Please subscribe. There's JTA up, Justin up. You well, mate. Our stripper always gets me every time I say that. Hey up, lads. MOT. Smash a like if you love it. Yeah, thank you very much. A nice little conversation, you two, aren't you? Waiting for us. Hey up, Lee. Rent paid. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I came on. I thought I'd got wrong time.
How come? Hey up, Angela.
All comments in chat already.
I know. Yeah, there's loads in the Danny. Hey up, mate. Hope you well. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. Hey up, Brookie, Nige, Mike, Rusty Tinkan. Hey up, Eddie. Yeah. They're all in, all the regulars. Nice to see you, man. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. And we're only here to hear the rumours. I love that idea. Kelleher gone, so can't pick him. Yeah, he's crossed off Priestley's list.
I've already crossed him off my list. I've already crossed him off.
100%. Nah, so yeah, fire away, Priestley. Like I said, this is going to be Priestley led this really. He's got a list of about 40 names. Like I said, this is just a bit of fun, really. He wants to go through them and want to highlight.
Honestly, for people that think I'm lying, look, that's what I've got written down.
Let's applaud him. Go on, Priestley. I love this.
I must give a shout out to Mike in the members chat for most of these.
To be fair, he's been great. I need members chat.
He's kept really on top of it, and a lot of this has come from stuff he's posted. So fair play.
Do you know when he posts these into WhatsApp group, or when you see something, do you go into XN and click on the link and see how many followers he's got on stuff?
Yeah, just see if it's reliable what he's said in the past, how many followers he's got.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go on, and there was one where he mentioned he shared one about Nonto being part of any Solomon deal, and then you go on and the guy saying that's got about 40 followers. Sports journalist, 40 followers.
Class, love that. Before we go into it, mate, what's your opinion on Buendia? Or is he on your list anyway? And we'll talk about it when we get to him. What do you think? Do we do it that way?
Yeah, I mean, he's on my list, and I'll start from goalkeepers, and we'll get there when we get there.
Just a quick impression before I move on, mate. Did you see? I can't remember who it was. Is a subscriber? Is a decent bloke. I can't remember who it was, though he watches all the time. But he had a liver and onion pizza delivered yesterday. Did you see that bit of video last night? So one of the subscribers had to leave mid show because his pizza had turned up, and it's a liver and onion pizza from takeaway. Have you ever?
Just wants his hard drive checking.
It's class, mate.
That's disgraceful.
Some Hannibal Lecter stuff, like, innit?
Do you know there's
class.
There's too many people talk about having pineapple on pizza, and not enough people talk about having a liver and onion pizza. I can think about 50 things I would rather.
Can't remember who it was, but yeah, let me know who it was. Mackham Cabby, he was a Sunderland fan. You're right, Chesley. You're right. It was. Brilliant.
I once went to Madrid, and there were a pizza place just down from hotel, and they were doing peas on a pizza.
Peas.
Yeah, like garden peas on a pizza.
Yeah. To be fair, for such a basic ingredient, mate, and I don't like peas anyway. I don't like veg, as you can guess. But I've never seen it on a pizza. It's just not needed, is it, mate? It's just not needed. Definitely not. Just in straight out there with goalkeeper. Darlow Wales #1. Spend money elsewhere for me. Fair enough, Justin. You think he's good enough?
It's a good. I do actually think Darlow will stay.
I do.
I don't think Melier will want to be a number 2, so I expect Melier to leave, and we get a new #1.
And Darlow stays as backup.
I'm not too disappointed that it's not Kelleher. We've had this conversation before. I don't really rate him.
Do you think it's a done deal? Everything we've seen today and read today looks like it is. Do you reckon he does go to Brentford now? There'll be no hiccups in that one, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All the main people have reported on it.
Right, come on then, fire away. How many goalkeepers are on your list for starters? How many?
I've got 5.
5. Well, reel them out then, and we'll go back and discuss them.
So I must admit, there's probably going to be some names getting butchered here. So if there's any French people, any Georgian people, or any Scandinavian people in the chat, I apologise. First one we've got is Daniel Peretz from Bayern.
So that's come about recently, that, hasn't it, Priestley, that one?
Yeah, he's looking to go out on loan. He's not played much. He's only made 5 appearances. One of those were in Champions League, but I think it was a dead rubber. So
is he their second choice or third choice?
I think he's second choice. He spent a lot of time on bench.
All right, okay. I wonder how long he's been there. Has it, when you look at him behind, Will Neuer being not far off, has he come through with Neuer there and learning from one of the best keepers in the world?
Again, he wants to leave because he's lack of playing time. So I would imagine he'll leave in the summer. But I think they want a loan. So we'll see. I've got Noel Tornqvist.
I hadn't even heard that one, mate.
Plays for Mjällby in Sweden.
Right, okay.
They're currently halfway through their season, so I don't know if they'll actually let him leave.
Yeah.
Top at league, he's played 13 games, only conceded 11 goals.
Not bad.
But I should have said Peretz will cost about 4 million. Tornqvist will be about 3.5.
Right, okay.
I've got Gautier Larsonneur. Again, I apologise for the butchering of these names. He's just been relegated with Saint Etienne from France. So again, I think he's played every game this season. It's not had a great season.
No, yeah, I've not even heard of that link, mate. To be fair, so I'd assume that's probably right.
And
to be fair,
now we're getting on to the two that this will be controversial. One of these two, I think, we'll end up with.
Come.
You got Sam Johnston,
right,
and Aaron Ramsdale.
Honestly, mate, Aaron Ramsdale, I think he splits opinion. I'd love him, mate. I'd love him.
See, I think we'll end up with one of those two. Not to say that I agree with it.
Do you think Sam Johnston's good enough?
He only played 7 games last season. But I think he fell out. I think he fell out with the Wolves manager.
Right, okay. Because I mean, we've been sort of linked with him. We've sort of been linked with him on and off in past, haven't we?
Yeah.
When he were a number 1 for West Brom, at the time.
West Brom, yeah. He spent time at Palace as well.
Yeah. I'm not too sure I'd want him now, to be fair, but my choice would be Pope. But there's no links to Pope. I assume.
Pope would be my choice. But I've heard rumours of Newcastle in talks for Trafford.
Yeah.
So
Priestley, have you not seen any links for Pope, really? Will that only start happening if Trafford goes?
The only stuff I've seen about Pope is on people's wish list.
Right,
there's not actual any links, any proper links anywhere.
But that could move if
yeah, like I say, if Trafford moves to Newcastle, I would expect Pope to then leave because he'll probably keep Dubravka as a number 2. But then again, if Dubravka leaves, I'd have him as well.
He's a really good goalkeeper, mate. What about the lad from Chelsea? He's on the list. Yeah, you haven't put him down, have you?
No, because I'm expecting him to stay at Strasbourg.
You think?
Yeah, they're in Europe next season. He's had a really good season for them.
Yeah.
Chelsea can't keep buying all these goalkeepers and loaning them out. I think they've got 8 keepers on the books.
It's mental, isn't it? What do you reckon tonight there with the Ramsdale 25 million release clause? Would you pay 25 for Ramsdale? Is it too high?
I mean, I'd try and get it down a little bit. Probably, I won't be spending more than 20 million.
It's hard for me because when I look at it, Priestley, yeah, like JT was saying there, you know, you look at your goalkeeper, you think you keep Darlow and you spend elsewhere, but I honestly think the goalkeeper's vital. I think it's one of his biggest positions to fill this season. I think Darlow's. It was serviceable in Championship. It was decent. I think we'd have finished, you know, with a lot more points as well if we'd have had Darlow in from the start of the season. I think he's sound, but I think in Premier League, honestly, I think we need a proper top draw keeper, someone who's going to pull out them saves at winners' points. I actually he's a guy.
Is that the old saying? Attacks win games, defenses win titles.
Yeah, 100%. And don't get me wrong, I think Darlow's decent, mate, but I'm not too sure I'd be happy if he's our number one first game in Premier League.
I think the reason people were so happy for him to come in last season is because of everything that had gone on before that with Melier and all the clangers he were dropping.
Yeah.
It was the right choice. It just came a bit too late for me.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. I think when you compare him to Melier, what we needed, but I think as we've gone up a level, I don't think there'll be many fans happy if Darlow gets given that number one shirt. But I think that list, I think you're right. I think you looked at back in the list, there's a lot of noise on Sam Johnson. There always has been. Out of that list, I'd say Ramsdale would be my choice, but obviously I've said, you said, I'd love some moving parts.
The problem with Ramsdale is 3 of the last 4 teams he's played for got relegated.
So did Ampadu, though. Ampadu had 3 in a row, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And he's just, you know, so I don't.
Sam Johnson had only cost about 5 million.
How old is he?
32.
32. Yeah.
I know it seems like he's been around forever.
Yeah, 32 for a goalkeeper's not, to be fair, mate, is it? But no, I mean, like I say, I think goalkeeper's a massive position. We're always going to look at the prices and feel it's a bit inflated. Ramsdale for 25 million might seem scandalous, to be fair, but it could, for me, that goalkeeping position, mate, we can't hang around in there. It's got to be a top draw signing for me, and I really like Ramsdale. He's still young. Like I say, I thought he was doing great at Arsenal before they brought was it Raya in? Raya in. I thought we were doing brilliant there, and then ever since then he's sort of not looked the same keeper. But I know Southampton now got relegated. That's going to go against him, like you say. But he's one of them players for me who I think needs a bit of a home. I quite like he's a bit of a shithouse as well. Like he's a bit of a swine, and I think he'd fit right in at Leeds. To be fair, I ain't gonna lie. I think he'd be sound at Leeds. I think if we got him, I think we'd fall in love with Ramsdale. I do.
Yeah, I do like that he's a shithouse. To be fair, he always seems to wind Leeds fans up. And he was at the playoff final last year in disguise in the Southampton end.
Yeah, he was
dressed up as a Viking.
Yeah, he was. He's a character, isn't he? Ines says we need an experienced keeper. No to Ramsdale for me. He's experienced stuff for such a young guy, isn't he? You know, going through relegations is gonna make him a bit tougher and stuff. And I look at him and think he's a talent. He's got that agility, and you know that he comes out with some brilliant saves. But yeah, I know the experience. That's why I'd rather have Pope, but I'd rather have Ramsdale than Sam Johnson myself. Even though Johnson's a lot more experienced, I think Ramsdale's a better keeper. I don't agree with that, Duncan. I don't think he's as erratic as Mez or nearly as erratic as Mez. I don't see that. Yeah, it would suit us. But like I say, it's not my number one choice. It'd be down my list. I did a bit of looking on YouTube and stuff for that Bayern Munich keeper, and I quite like the look of him, but I'm sure we all like look at Casillas beside him if you really go.
He plays for Israel, so there's the Solomon link as well.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, when I've seen that as well, it sort of plays into it. But again, you look at it and go, ooh, maybe, but then also it just plays into the lazy link. It's an easy link to make, and it plays with Solomon. Yeah. Maybe that's something easy. But
don't worry, we'll get to lazy links later on.
Mike Wacko suggested goalkeepers coming from Germany. Potentially hit them likes. Cheers, Justin. Yeah, please stick a like on. Please subscribe. Would much appreciate it.
I'd love to see us sign Peretz, especially if it's on loan, because that frees up funds elsewhere.
Is that what it's been spoken about as well? Potentially,
yeah. Brilliant. They said he expects to leave this summer, but it's more likely to be a loan.
Can we remember the last goalkeeper we signed from Germany?
Wiedwald.
Felix Wiedwald. Well, the less said of I'm the better lad. He was pony. He was pony.
I still remember that goal he conceded against QPR. Wet ball bounced on penalty spot, just bounced over him, and then it's just madness.
The return of Felix Wiedwald, honestly. Yeah, shocker. Anyways,
moving on,
mate.
To the defenders.
Yeah, go on, mate. Have you just got them all in one category, pal? Have you split them up?
Well, I've written them all down as defenders, but then I've put like the specific position next to it.
Come on then, mate. Let's hear them.
So I'll start with the free agents we've been linked with. You got Kyle Walker-Peters.
Has that actually been an official link, mate, or have I just brought that one out? Because I've mentioned him on every stream.
I've seen a couple. Again, it's not massive, but I've seen a couple.
Yeah,
saying that we're looking at him, but you never know. I mean, it might just be that kids are off school. So
yeah, go on.
And we've got Aaron Cresswell and Vladimir Kufal.
And I honestly would be gobsmacked if we don't do the Kufal one. I think that is just. I mean,
yeah, Kufal as a right back up to Bogle.
But I've heard Everton were in for him as well, and that's gone a bit quiet this last week or so. But a week ago, that were red hot that link, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose he's not actually out of contract yet, so there might not be any movement. He can, because it's the last month. I think he can sign an agreement now, but he can't actually join until June or July. Sorry. Yeah, so you've got Kyle Walker-Peters, who can play both right and left back. Cresswell, who's a centre back, and Kufal, who's a right back.
I think Kufal. I've always said I want Kyle Walker-Peters as some sort of backup. He can play both sides.
I mean, Cresswell is very highly rated by the West Ham fans.
Yeah, but he's 35.
Yeah, I mean, as a backup.
Yeah.
And he's not going to cost anything. He's only going to cost wages.
Yeah, look at Mike Cresswell. I did see that a couple of days ago where Mike that Wrexham won him. I'm not sure on wages how they afford that because he's been a Premier League player.
Well, I mean, there's the man in question coming in with the transfer news again.
We should have just had him on.
I'll cross him off my list.
You know what it is, mate. I think the free market's a great opportunity to pick up some players, obviously for free, but with experience. You know, you look at that list of those free agents. You've got Semedo, you've got Kyle Walker-Peters, Cresswell, Sufal. You've got some players there who've got Premier League experience.
See, I'd have Semedo, me.
I would. I think Semedo's a cracking player. A couple of years ago at Wolves, he was the best player. You know, he was outstanding at Wolves. I think he's a top player. But again, on that right hand side, you're asking a Sufal or a Semedo to come in a second choice. That's the problem with that side. You're asking anyone to come in second choice for Bogle. I would suggest, although some people Priestley may look at it and go, "We don't know Bogle can do it yet." So maybe a Sufal come in and go, "Actually, I've got a chance here."
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, we spoke about this before. You want a backup to Bogle that's going to be good enough to come in if he can't cut it.
No, you do. That is fair.
Or if he gets injured, you're going to want someone at that level, and Kufal's done it in the Premier League for years.
Yeah, Kufal. How are you going to say it'd be great?
It starts with a C, so I'm going to go Kufal.
Yeah, Walker-Peters, Lamptey, and Davis is all three signings. Cracking play. I'm a massive fan of Lamptey. I can't believe he's out of contract at 24, 23.
Yeah, again, he's another one that we should be looking at.
Great. You know, it's going to be interesting to see if we don't pick up these players because it's the obvious ones we look at we don't tend to go for. It's going to be interesting to see who does pick them up because I think there'll be a lot of Premier League teams getting some really good smart business done there, you know. I find it a bit ironic Everton being linked with every one of ours with them taking our CEO. Yeah, 100%, mate. We've said, haven't we already, Priestley, that they should have put him on gardening leave a little bit earlier.
Well, I heard that since last summer, he's not been privy to any of our transfer targets since last summer.
Is that all right? Okay. Is that what you heard?
Because I think this has been in the pipeline for quite a while. We can hear. So they basically decided we're not going to let him know who we're after, like who we're interested in, what we're offering the club and the player. So then he can't go to Everton and basically go, "We'll give you more. Don't go to Leeds. Come here."
Fair enough.
Again, that's just a rumour I've heard.
It's all his. Yeah, well, this is what this stream's all about, mate. Rumours. What have you heard on the grapevine? Let's discuss it. Let's call out BS when we see it, and let's say what we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. In about 3 months, I'm probably going to end up on someone else's stream going, "Look at what this idiot was saying," and now it turned out to be wrong.
Maybe, mate. Maybe his eyes everywhere. So that's the defensive free agents. Who have you got? Who else have you got in your defensive?
So I've got the one that's guaranteed to be happening, according to Joe Blackburn. Simicast.
Cannot wait for this one to get sewn up and done. I hope it does, although you hope it doesn't, because you want to. You're torn, aren't you? Because you like him, mate, but you want to see him do some press ups, don't you?
Yeah. He's going to do press ups at Creator Cup if he's wrong.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I think he'd be a great signing.
Oh, 100%. I want him now more than I did previous with all the Firpo stuff that's all come out in the last couple of days. It looks like he's certainly not staying at Leeds United now, all the noise we're getting with Firpo. So once Firpo sort of confirmed he's not staying, I would love no one else other than Tsimikas. I think Priestley's really is I say as good. He's brilliant going forward, and we know we can do it in Prem. We don't get Firpo's numbers, don't get me wrong, but then again, Tsimikas hasn't played the Championship, pal, for the last 2 years. He's great going forward, but he's so much better at backing it.
Yeah, I mean, as good as Firpo is going forward, I want my defenders to defend first and foremost.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do you not think though Daniel Farke's sides notoriously need the fullbacks to play high? It's the way this whole style is down the flanks.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But how do we tweak it as a side, Priestley, and still be effective? It's something he's got to figure out. You know, we can't have Firpo, whoever's playing on left now, or Bogle on edge area every time we've got ball. You know, there's going to have to be a bit more balance in there. So you're right. That right-hand side, you want a Koufal, don't you? That sort of player. On left-hand side, you probably want someone similar. Or at least you want two options, don't you, on both sides? Two attacking fullbacks and two are a bit more defensive. And depending on whatever game, Priestley, you've got that option, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I think Tsimikas probably would be a good fit for us. And he's likely to be third choice by next week because they're signing Kirkes.
Kirkes, that's the one. Now, what sort of fee have you heard on the grapevine for Tsimikas?
Anywhere between 10 and 15.
I mean, that is a snip, that is a proper snip, that.
To be fair, I was looking at his numbers. He's not really played that many games.
No.
He only made 18 appearances last season. I think he only started 3 or 4 games.
Is he coming on to seat game out in a lot of them then? Just coming
off
the bench? Yeah. No, but going back, 2 years? He came in at first. Didn't Robertson get injured a few years back and he played a lot of games? One season he played a lot of games.
He's actually been there 5 years now.
Is it 5 years? Wow.
But no, I don't think he's ever made more than 20 appearances in one season.
Yeah, it's not good, that is it? Not for good reading, but a lot of people saying they'd have him 12 million for Tsimikas. I tell you what, if it's 12 million, you've got to go. You've got to go get it done. We all thought Kelleher were going to be 25, 30. And we've actually seen today that one 18, 12 and a half rising to 18. Maybe Tsimikas is less than
it's 18 all in, which is a ridiculous fee when people were saying they want upwards of 25, 30 million.
Yeah.
For a third choice keeper with 12 months left of his contract.
But they see with Tsimikas, he hasn't played loads of football. Maybe we're overcooking that Tsimikas fee. Maybe that is going to be 12, maybe 10. You know, it's mad when you look at it. You see media and you see rumours and they have these price tags, but there's no saying you shave a little bit off of that and you end up getting a good deal there for Tsimikas, because at one point we were thinking it'd be 20, 25 potentially.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason a lot of fees these days are undisclosed.
Look at that one. Go on, Sawyer.
What's that?
Rumour circling that Priestley will shave his beard. Daily Mail and the Sun have reported this.
Like I said, I'm waiting for Creator Cup for a fresh trim. I'm going to turn up looking like Charles Bronson.
Yeah, Mike, it is the way, mate, but I just don't see him doing that either, pal. So I think we'll still play a similar style of football. I just feel like on that left-hand side, he'll have to have a bit more balance. We saw it in that first season Championship under Farke, didn't we? Where we had one stay and one go. We had Archie pretty much not bomb forward too much, knowing that Firpo were going to do that on the other side. I think he may look to get a more defensively sound left back, which I do think you get from Tsimikas. I just don't think you'll see them both bombing up and down like we saw last season. So whether we'll be as effective, maybe not. But it's going to be interesting to see how we adapt and how we play. Because for me, Farke's got to adapt. Because if we go and play like we did at times last season, Priestley will get slapped up, won't we? So we need to be careful.
See, I've said this previously about playing a back five. I'm not against it.
I'd love it.
If the team we're playing dictates it, I don't want to settle with a back five every game.
Harrison at back five or Harrison at wing back?
I'd rather have Harrison back at Everton.
Yeah, I know.
That's my biggest fear, that we don't get Solomon and we have to watch another season of Jack Harrison spinning circles.
It is a worry, mate. It is sort of like in back of all those minds thinking, surely not. But then again, we've had other people back, haven't we? So who knows?
I've got Belerde from Marseille. Rumours he's going to be leaving this summer.
But that also got closed down, didn't it, last week before, when they said they're not going to sell him on because of Champions League football, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Admittedly, these links all came before Champions League football.
No, it's fine. So. It's fine. I want you to reel them out, but I tell you what, when I heard that link and I did a bit of digging, he excited me probably more than any other player has as of yet.
The fees are only about 20 million as well.
Yeah, he's pedigree, mate. He's got great pedigree. You know, he's just qualified for Champions League, which probably means it's an hard deal to do. But again, it's another link. It seemed a credible link that didn't it a couple of weeks ago, Paul. It really did.
Yeah, his name kept popping up a lot.
Do you think, Priestley, that shows there's maybe a little bit of a lack of faith in Pascal Strout going into Premier League, seeing links like this? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna need at least one centre back, because I would expect Verba to leave.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I don't see him.
So at the very least, we're going to be looking for a Verba replacement.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got Bijol, I think that's how I pronounce it, from Udinese.
He excites a lot of people.
Yeah, again, his name's popped up a lot, especially on Wacko.
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot about Bijol, mate.
A lot of people expected him to be our first signing.
Really? What kind of fee? What kind of fee are they talking about with him?
Hang on, I've got it written down here.
You got it written down? I like this.
About 15 million.
15 million sounds a snip, doesn't it, mate?
I mean, again, all these fees I'm reeling off are they're off transfer market.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all anyone can go off, pal.
Yeah,
that's all
this is basically his market value.
Yeah. That's a great, mate. Honestly, everything I've read about him, he seems top draw. I'd really, really like us to go get us. I don't want to rely on Pascal Strouk because he's never available for the full season. So I'd love it, and I'm a massive Pascal Strouk fan. Honestly, I think physically his attributes are. I think he's got everything to be a top draw defender, but his body doesn't hold up season after season. So I think in an ideal situation, he'd be a bench option. But what a great bench option he'd be. It's not because I don't like Pascal, but I want him to go get a proper pedigreed player, someone who's played in top divisions, someone who we know can do it, because I expect Joe Rodon to be able to do it. And if you get someone who's as good, better than Joe Rodon, what a great base it is.
Yeah, someone that can sit back while Rodon bombs forward like he usually does.
Yeah. He's one of the players. I'm going off topic here, but Rodon is Rodon and Tanaka are the two I'm most excited to see playing Premier League this season. They are the two I look at because for me they're the two that I think prove this season that they can make the step up. I know there's a few more as well, Dan James and other players as well, but Rodon and Tanaka, I'm really intrigued to see how they go. I mean, do you back both of them to do well this season, pal? Just off topic.
Oh well. So that interview last week with Declan Rice that said he thinks Tanaka were one of the best midfielders in England last season.
Well, mate, I had a few people say that were AI, and I'm like, that ain't AI. It was a proper video, that wasn't it? Because AI
I think he was doing an interview for Japanese TV.
Yeah, he was.
And they asked him if he's seen much Japanese football, and he said that lad that leads Tanaka, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good, that wasn't it? Yeah, he knows his stuff, mate. He knows his stuff.
Whoever that was that just made the comment about having the lights on, you're welcome.
And it's first time for everything, mate. That hamster's knackered, going around wheel like that over and over. Knackered.
I found 20 pence down back at sofa to put it meter. You're fine.
Lee Sawyer there. Sky Sports reported Bijol today. Leeds and Everton and Burnley want him. Well, there's no surprise there, mate, with the Everton again. Literally every transfer is going to have Everton. But yeah.
Next.
Apparently, Leeds are in for Beto, but apparently Everton want him as well. So that's quite a tough one. Go on, Beto. He's already at Everton, I know. Go on.
I'm going to say. I mean,
just honestly, mate, with Angus there, it wouldn't surprise me if they put a £10 million bid in for Beto just so Leeds don't get him.
So I've got two more, both centre backs. Otavio from Porto.
Yeah.
But he'll be playing in Club World Cup next week, so it's doubtful.
Don't see that, yeah. Don't see that.
And Maresh Kumbula, who's from Roma, who's been on loan at Espanyol.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Don't fancy either of them, pal. Even when they've done their hair.
That Otavio is used to playing as part of a three-man defence.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
I like on the right.
You haven't got him on your list. I know we've slightly been linked, but I'm assuming it hasn't looked too credible. Nico Elvedi.
I mean, he was linked in January, and I've not heard much since.
No, I am, but I like the look of him. I really like him.
Oh no, I like the look of him. I just, excuse me, don't know how credible the link actually is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because I agree. Like I said, in January we were on the verge of signing him, and then we just didn't.
Have you heard about that, buddy? Were you been a Rangers fan outside Leeds, of course? Have you heard about that Japanese guy at Celtic? That's Nige. Is he on your list? One? No. Why is he a few? Is he a few?
Yeah, I think they had 2 or 3, but if you talk about Maida, he's on the list. We'll get to him later.
Good lad, good lad. Out of those defenders, then, mate, is there any you'd fancy? Is there any you think might happen? More importantly,
I mean, I think Tsimikas will happen. I would be amazed if we didn't take one of the free transfers that are available.
Yeah, I hope so.
And for the centre backs, either I'd take Bijol.
Bijol, yeah, he's more likely than Belletti, isn't he? Might look.
But he did get sent off in last game of the season, so he might be banned.
Yeah, we like a bit of rough at Leeds, don't we? We like a bit of rough. We need a bit of bite, mate. Right,
and now we come to the lazy links. Midfielders.
Loads of lazy links.
The obvious one, or do you want to save him till last?
Save him till last, mate. Save him till last. Okay, then. Buendia. I think this might happen, you know.
It's been reported today by Alan Nixon in The Sun. I know it's The Sun, so don't get me started. But that they're looking to loan him out. Oof. Rather than sell him.
Game changer.
Which I think would be a great bit of business.
I don't know why.
It frees up funds elsewhere. You're not paying much on PSR. And if you do it as a loan to buy, then that's next season's fee to worry about.
But why would they do that? In fear of no one buying him, but there's links that were made by him. So why would they loan him? I don't see a benefit to him.
To be fair, there were teams wanted to buy him in January, and they loaned him to Leverkusen.
Yeah, I don't see why you'd loan him out. I know you get his wages off you.
As I said, that's come from a reporter in The Sun. So
yeah. But you know what it is. So maybe it comes down to his fitness. Maybe there'll be no team willing to gamble with 16.8, 17 million. I seen the other day.
Yeah, if that's what you're talking. I think 17 million would still be a great bit of business.
Yeah, mate, to be fair,
considering what it was worth 2 or 3 seasons ago.
I mean, how much did we pay for Elder Costa?
15. And that was about 14.9 million too much.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Plus Villa have got to sell players.
Yeah, I think that is one that happens. I actually think now that's probably overtook the Hamer link. Because I felt a few days ago we get Hamer. Now I think the Buendia is more likely than Hamer. Can we get them both, Priestley? Can we get them both?
Well, I mean, if the fee I've seen for Hamer, and we'll get to him next, is correct, I think we could do them both for less than 35 million.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Nige is a lazy link, but obviously because Farker's played with him before, been linked with him before, but also that also makes it a bit credible as well. I think, you know, this is one what could be totally lazy journalism that has no legs at all, and it could be, you know, seem lazy because it is just the most obvious one because we are in for him. Simple as, you know, we know Farker wanted him last season. We know Farker's worked with him before. We know Farker can get the best out of him too, and it's just the fitness what is. But how many players, you know, he's 28, I think it is. He's still got a lot of football to play. I don't think you can write him off now.
And look at Solomon. He'd had his injury problems before we signed him.
Problem is with Solomon
last season.
Priestley is he dropped down a division to work his fitness up. The worry about this is you're giving a spot that is so important, that creative spot in Premier League where goals are hard to come by. You're giving it to Buendia, someone who's been crocked for, or hasn't played well for 2 years, crocked 2 years ago, 10 games last season at Leverkusen, coming back from injury. But what I will say is he went at Leverkusen, you know, he's gone to a decent division there and playing in a decent side, you know, with a top manager in a decent league. It's not like he's gone and played in, you know, some poor farmers league somewhere. He's gone and played at a decent level there, and he just hasn't hit the heights. How many players have done that? Do you know what I mean?
He didn't play a massive amount of football at Leverkusen, but they still took the risk of signing him.
Of course, they saw something in him.
I don't think he missed any through injury either. I just think it was his fitness that was a problem. But
I'll say, pal, right? Leverkusen.
If we buy him early enough and work on his fitness through summer, I think it'd be a great bit of business.
But when you look at that, right, Leverkusen, they're no mugs, pal. They took a punt on him coming back from injury when he hadn't played any football. They've got to have seen something in him. Yeah, he didn't hit the heights there. That doesn't mean he won't hit him at Leeds United. Not at all. If they're going to take the punt on him, why can't we?
He was the only player I would have been happy signing in January.
Yeah, no, I agree. We all wanted him in January. I think we all wanted him in Jan. The problem is now we're in Prem. Everyone I think a lot of people have sort of forgot how talented he is. You know, he's that player that puts bums in seats and then gets your ass off the seat when your bum's been in the seat. He's that exciting player. But I also think Hamer is, you know, similar players. We might as well move on to Hamer now.
Hang on. Are you sitting down inside Ellen Road?
I sit in top of East Stand, mate.
Weirdo.
In posh seats with prawn sandwich, you know me.
I haven't sat down during game for about 4 years.
Although what I will say, Priest, I'm going to have to try and get in Cop every game next season because I've been a 2-in Cop, a 6-0 and a 7-0. So there's something in that. So I know what you're like with your superstitions as well. So I need to be getting my ass in that Cop. Right, even if it means I've got an East seat ticket and I've got to swap with you for your season ticket just to guarantee a win against Scum. Go on, move on.
We'll do Hamer now then.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
It's one of those that, again, it's going to split opinions because for all intents and purposes, he's a championship player. I know he's had a couple of seasons in Prem. Yeah. Didn't do massively well last time. But he's that creative player we need.
He got 10 G&A that year for Sheffield United, you know. That ain't bad for that side. He got 10 G&A, pal, when they came down. It's not bad for a relegated side who was bad as though they were.
Yeah, and I think he'll be cheap because they turned down 13 million last.
Yeah, they did.
Last August.
They did. But that was a bit of a poor low ball offer for Leeds at the time.
Yeah, I think we did that just to unsettle him, but I would be amazed if he went for any more than 15.
You think? Even though he got player of the year?
Yeah, and that's a prime example of why you should wait until all the games have been played before giving those awards out.
Do you not think the proportion of Leeds fans who don't want him at all, do you think a lot of it comes down to not liking Sheffield United, not liking the fact he won Player of the Year? Do you think a lot of them are taking that emotional side into it rather than looking at the football? Or do you think it's fair that maybe just ain't good enough?
I think it's a very partisan viewpoint. Oh, we don't like him because he plays for one of his rivals. Don't matter. I'd have Michael Cooper as well. That's one I should have mentioned for goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't want anyone from Championship, but there's 3 players I'd take from Sheffield United, if I'm honest. The goalkeeper, Harrison Burrows, and Hamer. They're the 3 who I think should be playing at Premier League level. Whether it's the Leeds or not, I think them 3 should.
It's funny you should mention Championship players because there's quite a lot to get through.
Is there? But yes, I mean, just to sort of touch on them too, mate. Do you think one of them is likely? Because in my opinion, we sign one of them as our 10. In my opinion, that's what
Wendy or Hamer.
Yeah, and I know we linked with. I can't remember that young lad who was out in Turkey. Begins with K.
Yep, we'll get to him.
Yeah, we're linked with him, and that keeps coming around. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go there. But I've just got a feeling Buendia or Hamer will come in, and my gut's telling me Buendia. And I tell you what, I can get on board with that because I'll always say he's 28-year-old. He's Buendia. He's not done now, is it? He ain't done now. His body's not crocked and finished now till time he retires. I think you can get Hamer fit. I think you can get Buendia fit.
Yeah, that's always been my problem with Hamer. He's always looked really unfit.
Yeah, but he still plays 90-minute games. You know, he ain't coming off all time early. I think he's physical. We haven't had a physical 10, have we? We did last year, 2 years ago.
I don't know if you watched any playoff final, but like against us, the game changed when he went off.
Yeah, it did. He's a talent, mate. He's a talent.
Sheffield United were cruising, and then he went off, and they just lost all attacking threat.
Just a quick one. Have you heard? Eddie said, have you heard about Conor Cody? I've not seen all about Conor Cody. I know we're off the defenders now, but
not a thing.
Lee says he'd take Hamer. Hamer won't out now. He won't want another. Yeah, he ain't going to be in Championship. He'll move on with Hamer. He'll either go to Leeds or Everton, 100%.
Yeah, Sheffield United are expecting him to leave.
To be fair, Brookie's made a good point, Sousa. But to be fair, I like Sousa, but as I asked for him as a bit of a free. To be fair,
Again, I've not seen any. I've not seen any links to him past people saying, "Oh, I'd love him."
Yeah, especially when you look at it.
There's rumours he's going to leave because he wants to play in the World Cup next summer.
Yeah, and the thing is with Leeds, though, Sousa, I wouldn't have Sousa because I don't think he'd start for Leeds. Whereas I think we need a left back, so that's where Burrows comes in. We need a keeper, Cooper, and obviously we need a 10. So it just so happens the three I prefer are all positions that are sort of vacant at Leeds United and are needed. But then again, I don't want a team of Championship players last season. I don't want that either. I want to be looking higher than that.
Well, I mean, it didn't work for Ipswich, did it?
Exactly. No, it didn't, mate. Killer soy. That's the one, John. That's the one, which we'll get on to. Right, Priestley, who do you want to talk about next, my mate?
Sticking with the Championship, Rodoni.
This lad at Coventry.
Yeah.
Decent stats this season. I think it's about 20 G&A. Is it something like 9 goals, 11 assists, something like that?
Yeah, he's had a really good season. But again, in the Championship.
Yeah. Young lad?
Yeah, I think he's only early 20s.
Yeah, it's obviously I've not watched much of Coventry, I won't lie. I don't think many of us like watching Coventry because we don't want to see Frank's face away, but he's done really well. Fair enough, he's done really well there. I personally, mate, don't think we'll be signing someone who's done all right at Coventry. I don't see it. Yeah, not for me, that one, buddy. I mean, what have you seen regarding that? Just a few little links here and there. No concrete.
Yeah, no concrete. It's just these people saying, "Oh, Coventry has said £5 million man can join Leeds, etc."
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a few places, well, like on aggregate sites and stuff. But
give me 2 seconds.
No worries, fine, mate. Not for me. And he is a 10, that Rodoni, isn't he? But look at that angle of Priestley. Isn't he handsome? And here we have a Priestley in his natural habitat.
Shut up.
Who'd win 100 gorillas or Priestley?
100 what?
100 gorillas v Priestley.
They would take me as one of their own.
They would. They really would. You'd fit right in, wouldn't you? You'd fit right in. How many links did we have last season? Who thought we would have got tonight? Yeah, Richard, 100%. When we spoke before we come on air, and we'd say now, like, he's got 40 odd names down here, Priestley. We don't think we'll get any of these.
I remember being at your wedding venue the night before, talking about who the fuck's Isaac Schmidt?
Yeah, we won't, we? Yeah. Yeah, but say we spoke about this list, and we think we might get 1 or 2 off this list. We don't think out of these 40 odd names Priestley sort of noted over the last few weeks, we don't think it's going to be anywhere near 6, 7, 8 of these players.
If people are going to come for me after transfer window closes, these are just rumours.
Yeah,
the fees 100%. Aren't real.
No,
I don't want to end up on anybody else's YouTube.
Nah,
I'm the only one. I'm the only one that's been on your channel that didn't end up on that video. By the way, let me just say that.
Moving on. Who's next?
Right, Otar Ketishvili.
And if you want that video, it's OnlyFans /Priestley 69. It's cracking video. He's hairy all over. He's got more than one beard. Oh, go on.
Otar Ketishvili. I think his name is pronounced.
What? Whatty?
Yep. A Georgian 10 plays for Sturm Graz.
Right, okay.
Got 12 goals in 32 appearances last season. Won the league.
Decent.
I mean, league winner in Austria isn't that great because so is Jesse Marsh.
Yeah, he won't make money.
But again, there's no concrete. It's just a name I've seen thrown out a couple of times.
Yeah, there's been some talented Georgians over the years, pal.
Well, I actually saw
back in the day.
About 4 years ago. That guy that's just won Champions League at PSG.
We were linked with him, weren't we, like Chuff?
£17 million.
We were linked with him. We were linked with Guardiol from City. We've been linked with some absolute ballers, mate. Ballers.
Yeah, we actually had a bid accepted for Guardiol, but he decided not to join us because he didn't think he was Premier League ready.
Mental, mate.
And then two years later, went for like 90 million.
Yeah, it's craziness, mate. We were definitely looking in right areas, weren't we? We even got Rafinha through door. Who'd have thought it? But yeah, go on. Who's next, pal? Who else is on your list?
One that's very unlikely, McAtee.
Yeah, very unlikely now.
Yeah,
like he's
every
going?
man and his dog's after him.
Yeah, where's he going? It's Prem, innit? He's going to the Prem side.
I've heard Germany. I've heard Leverkusen are in for him to replace
Leverkusen?
Wirtz.
Wow, fair enough. To replace Wirtz.
Yeah.
Some shoes to fill there, innit? Yeah, I mean, I did my ideal side for next season, mate, and I actually had McAtee ahead of Buendia and Hamer. I wanted him as my 10.
If we're talking like dream signings, McAtee would be up there, but realistically, Buendia.
Yeah, 100%. I think it would be Buendia, but ideally, would you prefer McAtee as well if you had your choice? Would you pick McAtee over them?
100%.
Yeah. Nah, I'm right with that, mate. Yeah,
I mean, he had a good season 2 seasons ago for Sheffield United when they were in.
He did. Played really well. And we know for a fact Guardiola absolutely loves him. It's City. You know what I mean? It's so hard to get him in. I mean, look at Cole Palmer. They couldn't even get Cole Palmer in. Now look at him, mate. You know, he's one of them. And could he be another Cole Palmer potentially?
Well, I mean, it's like having Rodri and signing someone from Leeds. But anyway.
Have you seen that one, Priestley, anyway? And did he? I've seen people talk about it, but I haven't seen no credible.
Again, I've not seen anybody linking us with him. I've seen a few people say they'd love him.
Yeah.
And physical. Yeah, I mean, he's more of a CDM though, isn't he?
He is. That'd be an alternative to say looking at Decore, but Decore is a free and Didi isn't, so I assume that'd play a factor.
Well, speaking of Decore,
moving on.
He's been linked by quite a few people, but his wage demands are ridiculous.
120k a week is on it.
It's more than that. I read that it's about 8 million a year, which is about somewhere around 150 grand a week.
Which obviously it won't be expecting. I wouldn't assume coming to twilight of his career now, but he's gonna take a massive drop.
Those are his demands that his agent's throwing about when he's going to Saudi.
Well, there you go. Coxey said there, only league that's going to pay those sort of wages for him, mate, would be Saudi.
Yeah,
I could see him going there. 32 years of age, but yeah, it's one that I'm quite happy to see the links. And at one point, going back a while now, because we've obviously been promoted about a month now, haven't we, mate? So we've sort of been linked with these players for a while. Decore's gone a bit cold.
We got promoted on Easter Monday, and then 2 days later, all the links started.
Yeah. But this was one of the early ones. This one, Paul Decore, one of the early ones where I looked at. I thought that's a tidy.
Of the first 3 I saw.
Yeah. And yeah, he'd replace that Gillavogi Hall, but Decore had one decent minutes, I think, at Leeds United, and he's probably good enough for him as well. I rate him. A lot of people have said his legs have gone, but the link's gone. Let's be fair, the link's gone a bit cold. So moving on, pal.
I don't know. One that you mentioned earlier that I'd forgotten about, Longstaff.
You forgot Longstaff. Oof. He's honestly, I see that happening to me, you know. I've seen he put it on as well, didn't he, Mike, in his members group earlier. He put like a Newcastle shot in, whether it's credible or not, I don't know, but they were saying they're looking at certain players and got outgoings, Wilson and Longstaff, and Leeds are sort of looking at both of them, aren't they? And they've sort of confirmed that today.
It'll only be about 10 million for Longstaff, but I think
are you a fan?
I wouldn't expect him to start. I'd expect him to come in and probably be behind Tanaka and Ampadu.
I mean, it's a difficult one, mate, because a lot of people in chat on here as well, they want somebody to play alongside Tanaka, and a lot of people don't think it's Ampadu this season. You've sort of got to upgrade, haven't you, in multiple positions? And is Ampadu a player you think needs improving on, or are you quite happy with them as your two?
I'd be quite happy with Ampadu and Tanaka starting.
Me too.
First game of season.
Me too.
But you need a squad, and you need the right. If say for instance we're going out to sign 8 players this summer, it'll be around about that. You want at least half of those to have Premier League experience.
Yeah, I agree. Longstaff, he's not gonna excite the fans, is he? He's not that, Longstaffinho, but he's a tidy player. He's a very for me. I look at Longstaff, and I think you look at Gruev at Leeds and you think he's tidy on ball. I don't know if Gruev's good enough at Prem. Longstaff would be a Gruev upgrade. Is he Ampadu upgrade? I'm not sure, but he's a Gruev upgrade. I aren't too sure if Crewe will still be here. He's someone who I could see maybe moving on. There's been no links.
I was going to do a bit on Outgoings at the end.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that as well. But yeah, I mean, Longstaff, credible sources. One of the ones you would put in, if you had to pick 5 players you think are likely, he'd probably be on the list with all the links we've seen. And I would like him, and I don't think he's massive money. He's a workhorse, and he's actually played a lot of, maybe not a lot of minutes this season, but in terms of his games for Newcastle, he's played a lot of games for Newcastle, and look where they're playing now, and look at the players he's got. He can't get in front of Priestley. There's no shame in that. Tenali, Grimares, Joe Linton. There's no shame now. A bit like Buendia at Villa. They're playing inside, they're getting minutes, and as the team gets better and the trajectory goes up, some players get left behind. And Longstaff's at that position now. Buendia's at that position at Villa, and there's no shame in that. These guys are punching Champions League.
He's one of those players that got them into the Champions League in the first place.
Exactly.
But now, like you say, the team's evolving, and you need to improve season on season.
No, you do. Remember that link, Cavani link. And we got Rafinha.
I remember when Radrizzani first took us over, and we're getting Totti out of retirement.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We're signing Buffon. They were legitimate. I mean, it's mad. You know this whole Rangers takeover thing.
Yeah.
So they've approached David Ancelotti to be the new manager. Like a genuine headline I saw on BBC Sport was, "Could Modric rock up at Ibrox?" No.
Have you actually seen that headline?
Mate, that was the genuine headline on the BBC Sport website.
Well, it got clicks.
Could we see Modric at Ibrox next season?
No,
you couldn't.
No, it's a ridiculous one, that, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous.
I was stood there reading it, and I was just like, journalism isn't on its ass.
Are you quite off topic? Are you concerned about that, or are you quite excited?
No,
obviously,
I'm excited.
Rangers. Yeah.
I mean, as a Rangers follower for quite a few years, I'm excited for it. There's people talking about they're gonna use us as a feeder club, and they're gonna put more priority into them. People don't understand the schematics of it.
Explain.
It is basically the 49ers investment group.
Yeah.
But it's a different set of investors to the ones that have invested in Leeds.
It's a separate pot of money, isn't it? It's totally separate.
It's the same company, but different cash flow.
Yeah, I agree.
The only common denominator is Parag Marate. He's going to be the vice chairman.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't think it'll affect us in a negative way at all. I
mean, if they want to send us Cyril Dessers on loan for the season, I won't be against that.
But like the Coxie says here, look, we can get some players to them on loan potentially. You know, don't get me wrong, mate. They're not going to take players that they don't want, obviously. But there's some. Off that list, I'd look at Joseph. I think Joseph would be, go play there. He could smash.
Someone say Bamford to Rangers for 15 million.
There's loads of little bits and little loopholes you can get away with stuff there, isn't there, if they want. But yeah, it's totally separate. It ain't going to affect us in a negative way. But
I saw someone say that. Oh, that means that the 49ers are aiming to take Leeds into Europe because Rangers are guaranteed a European place every season. Again, not how it works. Look at Man City.
Yeah, no, I know. We're the Premier League. The Scots Prem does not have the same lure as a global brand. Exactly, there's no to worry about. We will be the main focus.
Again, I saw a post about that saying, if Rangers and Celtic were put in the Premier League today, within 3 seasons they'd be challenging for the title. Not a chance.
My word. If anyone's just come in, these are what he's heard. These are just, it's rubbish. This is what we think or what Priestley thinks. My word. That's brutal, that, isn't it? Delusion.
My opinions are my own. And
yeah, Raskin.
I'm not worth out.
Is he on your list, pal? I've seen that link. It might not be on your list, but I've seen that link.
Raskin. Again, I heard a couple of bits about it, but I think Villa are interested in him as well. I'm
assuming you rate him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he doesn't go to Leeds, you'd want him to stay at Rangers, I presume, but you'd love him at Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he looks decent, looks really good. He's one that excited me, but again, another one that's gone a little bit cold. But yeah, great value again in it. Cox is 10 million for him, great value. Yeah, go on, Priestley, moving on.
I've only got a couple more now. I've got Finn as Daz, but we'll just skip past him because
Skip
I don't
past
really
that
rate
I don't.
him. Fernandez from Southampton.
Nah, not for me, mate. Not for me.
No.
No.
I mean, he arguably one of the better players in a shit season for him.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, I just want you to get to the main guy. The main
We're
guy.
almost there. We're almost there. One that we were linked with. I came out of a game in January, and by the time I'd got from the ground back to my car, I'd seen him linked with us. We put a bid in for him, and then he was joining Ipswich. And Cypher from Brighton.
You're telling me about that, actually. What's your thoughts on him, mate? Because I'll be honest with you, mate, I don't know much about him.
Again, I don't really know. I don't really know that much about him. That's a little bit. Yeah, made 25 appearances for Ipswich and Brighton last season.
I know he's all right, mate. I know he's a good player and stuff, but yeah, he's not.
I think he scored 2 in 13 for Ipswich last season.
Yeah, he's not someone I'd be asked for.
But again, he's one that's kept popping up on Wacko.
Is it?
Yeah,
which it is, you know.
The thing with Wacko is it's a lot like Twitter.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bullshit on there, but every so often there's 2 or 3 names on there that if they say something you like, you sit up and listen and go,
yeah,
maybe there's something in it. And Incisors one of those that someone said.
Okay. Want to keep an eye on Julio and Saito. Right, go on, mate. Next,
Julian Viegel from Mönchengladbach. Again, I think that's just a lazy link because of the whole FARC link.
Yeah, but sometimes, like I said, the lazy links are the obvious ones for a reason because they're likely to happen. You know, when you've got a link to a player, when a manager's had a player before. I mean, speaking of Adam knows a few people and who's in the know to a degree, and he's always stated as Adam through his sort of connections is Farker tends to, when Farker writes a list up, right at the top of his list, the names he goes for the people he's worked with in past.
Yeah, so, and I've no issue with that.
Yeah,
if they're good enough. I mean, he played all but one game in the league for him last season, so they obviously rate him.
Yeah, no, it's one that's come up again, isn't it? That, so I won't be surprised. But
actually, I've got another one, but again, I've heard him linked elsewhere. Spurt Sion from Krasnodar.
I'll leave that with you, mate.
I saw him linked, and then a couple of days ago said that we're not even interested.
Really?
What's that about Wacko Joe Blackburn?
Just equal Joe Blackburn.
You're not wrong.
Jonathan David would be a mega star. John, it'd be.
He's off to Napoli.
Yeah, it's not happening, mate. Unfortunately,
I'll tell you something. Napoli are doing some right business.
Yeah.
Jonathan David on a free.
Real.
De Bruyne on a free.
Mental that.
Mad. Anyway, to the main man of the hour, Kalvin Phillips.
Oh man, this is not going to go away. This is it until he either joins or retires.
Everybody will have seen the post earlier. It has actually come from quite a reliable Man City source as well. So there is that. This was rumoured as far back as March.
Mate, he went at the playoff final at Wembley over 12 months ago, mate. Where we know if we get promoted, he'd have played. If we'd have got promoted, mate, at Wembley, he'd have played for us last year. It's always been on a knife edge on it.
It was at the Kaiser Chiefs last night, and I think
this is the issue
there and gone, put 2 and 2 together and got bullshit.
This is the issue with this. Like I said, this were always going to sort of come out again today. Yeah. I thought you see in the videos.
Kalvin Phillips is to the 2020s what Milner was to the 2010s.
He is. He's straight off the bat. Then Priestley, do you think it's likely to happen? Do you want it to happen?
I do think. Do you know? I actually think it's got legs. I do actually think there's something in it.
Yeah.
Whether it's because let's not forget he's on 150 grand a week.
Yeah.
The Phillips mental gymnastics begin. Yeah, exactly. But he's on 150 grand a week. I think he would take a significant pay cut to come back. And it goes back to what I said before about needing a squad.
Yeah. My captain, Yorkshire Roses. He wants him. Does Joe? Brookie wants him. Yeah. I assume Coxie, you don't. Kalvin may be a home bird and might be figure it. That's how I sort of see it, Andy. I've said it before. You'll hear me say it a few times on this channel is Phillips will play the best football he can possibly play from now to the end of his career. It will only be found, I think, at Leeds United. We know all that under Bielsa. There's certain players who haven't played well since Bielsa left. He's probably right up there as one of them. Although he played well for England, obviously under Southgate, it was still, around that time when he were banging form after what Bielsa transformed him into that CDM role. He was outstanding. We only saw it for a couple of seasons.
And it's worth pointing out he's injured.
Injured, mate. This is the thing. He's actually had surgery, hasn't he, Priestley?
Yeah, he's had surgery on his Achilles. He's out till August. So even if we did sign him, he wouldn't be fit for the start of the season.
This is the thing, right? It's already a risk based on him picking up injuries anyway in general. It's already a risk on form. If we sign him while he's currently injured, it's fucking ridiculous.
Gives me a massive Izzy Brown vibes.
Yeah, it does, mate. It don't work, does it, signing people? You can't do a medical. You sign them without a medical. But what I will say is the fact that the fee now looks like it might be as little as 10 million quid.
And that's literally just to pay his contract off.
That makes it so much more doable, achievable. Leeds will definitely look at that and think, it's viable. But what I'll say is, someone asked earlier in chat, where do you fit him in? For me, let me hit it off. For me, mate, it'd be a backup option to an Ampadu because he's more that sort of role.
Yeah.
For me, I wouldn't think it'd be a play in front of Ampadu, although a fully fit firing for Kalvin Phillips a few years ago would be. I'd say let's be fair, Phillips in Championship were better than what we've seen Ampadu in Championship, and I think Ampadu's been sound. But what we saw Phillips, he were better. I don't think he'll do that now. Question, in my opinion, Phillips, I think, were better than for that year under Bielsa, 2 years under Bielsa. What I will say is he's never fit. He's never fit for long enough to. He's not going to be fit, I don't think, if we want to sign him next season to play enough games to overtake an Ampadu.
Well, that's the thing. If you sign him, he's not going to be fit for the start of the season, and then he's going to be playing catch up.
And by
the time he's fit, it could be September, October.
3 seasons of 3 clubs, 3 managers. He hasn't been what he was under Bielsa, and if he's injured, that's the problem. We've got nothing to base like an upturning performance off. We haven't seen it for 3 seasons, and the fact is, he's just had surgery. That should it's come at the worst time for him, Priestley, that surgery. Because for me, that might be the one thing that a team doesn't gamble on, and maybe he just sits at City. And he has to wait out till January then to move on loan again. So, maybe next season.
I think City are expecting to sell him.
But how do you sell a player that's currently injured? Unless it gets late in the window. Potentially late in the window.
Well, window's open until September, isn't it? So
yeah, that might be, like Mike says, it might be late in window. And Achilles is what to be messed with. Yeah, it's a tough thing, mate. Obviously, it's not a major problem because he's had surgery. He's not out for a long time, but 100%, mate. You don't be messing with them, the old ACLs and all that part. And it's just very risky. But when you put a 10 million tag on it, is it that risky? Because if you take the risk and it pays off, you've got a very capable player who's got Premier League experience and England experience. Played in major finals. It's risky, but for 10 million, I think it makes it low risk. So, I mean, from the heartstring side of me, the sentiment side, I love Phillips, I do. If he came back, I'd be happy with him as part of the squad for 10 million quid. I wouldn't be angry at 10 million quid. We've wasted money on players before who came and did nothing. And I think you get some out of KP. But for 10 million quid, it depends on wages, Priestley. But his wages are after more than half, wouldn't they? Even at 75 grand a week, if you have to, it's too much for a second, third choice.
Yeah.
Centre midfielder. Is he going to drop that 50 grand a week to play third, fourth fiddle at Leeds? I'm not too sure. But for me, it's the best move for Phillips, but it's not as good a move for Leeds United, buddy. But I agree with you, mate. It's got legs, and I could see because of this operation he's had, he's going to have to wait till late at window. And I think if Leeds don't move quick and it rumbles on, and we end up with filling gaps we really need to fill, and obviously we've still got Gruev, we've still got Ampadu, we've still got Tanaka. We need another one, obviously, with Rothwell going at. And I actually think we need a Rothwell sort of player, someone who can pick the ball up and drive with it, someone who's a threat from set pieces. That really isn't Phillips for me. Not really. But I think we'll concentrate on the positions.
You touched on it right there. You say sentiment. That's all it is.
Oh, no, it is.
It's just all sentiment.
It is.
But like I said, at the same time, I do think there is something in it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did sign.
Well, there is, mate. I think 49ers say they had talks, didn't they, last year? I think it was pretty much a gentleman's agreement 2 years ago, or a year ago. We win that playoff final and he comes. So, they know him well. But for me, the fan base don't want him on the whole, really. I'd say the majority don't really want him.
No.
But for me, if we were to sell Gruev, I'd happily have him as sort of second fiddle to Ampadu. But as it is now with the three we've got in there, and they may all remain at Leeds, we need a Rothwell sort of player, someone who can take a set piece, someone who can pick the ball up and drive with it. We don't need another defensive sort of minded player when you've got Gruev and Ampadu in there for me. Yeah. So, yeah, it could happen, mate, but it's definitely one it's come back on it, and it's...
Shall we move on to strikers?
Go on, old mate, all day. Go on.
First one, Solomon, obvious. And I would expect him to sign.
Yeah, no, I think it's first one we get him. I do.
But based on what his agent said about the talks with Marseille and the fact that he wants to stay in England, he likes the Premier League. And there was stuff saying that he wouldn't go to Marseille because of political reasons, which I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't really, mate. I don't even look into stuff like that. I really asked. But the fact they don't want him, mate, it opened a door for us, done it, with Solomon. And who else has really been linked with him? Everton.
But I don't think he'd go to Everton. I think if he's going to leave Spurs and stay in the Premier League, it'll be us. Because you don't really need to integrate him into a squad he's already been part of.
Yeah, he knows it works at Leeds, doesn't he? He knows the system. He knows the fans love him. Fee-wise, it's actually I don't think it's as much as we thought. Is it around 20 million mark? Maybe just under?
I think it'll be even less than that.
You don't think Levy will play hardball?
I'd be surprised if it was more than 15 million.
What would be the maximum you'd be happy with?
I probably wouldn't pay more than 20.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Especially for a position we're allegedly not looking... We're not desperate for, according to Sky Sports.
Yeah. Danny says he's got a feeling Solomon doesn't come. Based on what, Danny? I don't... Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean...
Based on nothing if it's Danny. He'll be reading tea leaves again.
I sort of took a bit of a wild one of the week and sort of looked at it and thought, I wonder if they'll look at maybe moving Nonto out to rival Ramazani and look at bringing in someone second fiddle, Dan James. Will they do that? We will look at bringing in a left footer. Obviously Harrison's there, but surely they move him out. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a world where Solomon's not a Leeds United player next year. I really don't. But I would say,
if we line up on first day of season with Aronson in the 10 and Jack Harrison on left,
we're off
fuming.
We'll go watch rest of it in Peacock, mate. But yeah, I don't see a world where he's not a player. But what I will say off topic again, I wonder what that does to Ramazani in terms of how he feels about it, because right now, if you're Ramazani, I'm sure we love Solomon and all that. There'll be all that camaraderie. We've seen it, but I wonder if there'll be a part of Ramazani thinking if Solomon comes here, they aren't getting a sniff. If Solomon don't come in, maybe they sign someone different. That spot's up for grabs. If we sign Solomon, is that door closed to Ramazani? It shouldn't be, and it should. And I think he'll have the right mentality to go.
I'm not gonna start getting into a debate with you about Ramazani because I know your feelings on the topic, and basically, we haven't got time. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's a great talking point. It's a great talking point.
So the next one we've got is that Killer Choi.
Yeah, this one keeps popping up, mate.
Yeah, I've probably seen more of this one than I have of most. Every week it's someone different. Just seems to keep popping up.
Yeah.
He's only 19.
Yeah.
Didn't have a great season in terms of numbers.
Highly sought after though.
But yeah, worth about 12 million. I reckon it'll be a loan to buy.
Well, that'd work great for us, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But would he be at 19? Are you expecting a bit much for him to come in and be a starter? Would he be a bench?
I wouldn't expect him to start many games. Maybe get start games in Cup. Come on for 20 minutes.
Is he more of a 10?
No more than 20 minutes though, because we know Fark loves his 70 minutes.
Is he more of a 10? Kulasoy.
Yeah, he's mainly a striker, but he can play in the 10.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, it'd be a squad player, wouldn't it? But yeah, he's come around a bit, mate. To be fair, I think he'd be I wouldn't be surprised to see him come through the door for how many times I've seen his name pop up.
Next one we've got is Maida from Celtic.
Right.
I've seen a few links with him.
Is that the Japanese lad?
Yeah. He got, I think it was, I've written down here, he scored 16 goals, I think got 11 assists in 34 games last season.
Oh, all right, okay.
But you've got to remember that was in Scotland.
Saying nout. I'm saying nout, mate. Yeah, no.
Again, he's one I've seen quite a few links.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with rumours. I know I'm sat here reading them all out, but I don't really go in much for them.
No.
Unless it's someone reliable.
Yeah.
And there's very few people that are reliable.
And that's what it's all about, mate. Literally, we speak a lot, don't we? We reckon there's maybe a handful of these that potentially may have legs. We may still not even get some of these, but it's just a bit of a talking point because you've actually been getting wound up every day. I've been getting every other day. I've been getting messages off you saying, "My God, there's another one."
I got to work. And by the time I've gone on my dinner, I must have seen another half dozen players.
Yeah,
links.
I mean, honestly, you just keep forwarding me and you just laughing. Mike's now doing it. My phone and my gallery on my phone because it's synced to me. WhatsApp, I'm sure everyone's is just honestly, I've got pictures of kids and stuff. Then in between that, I've just got all these bleeding transfer links. And I can't wait to have one that says Fabrizio Romano at top, and I have to go. Fair enough, here we go. But until that day, it's just we just keep going. Don't we?
He's full of shit, mate.
Yeah, but we believe him more than anyone, don't we? Usually, but yeah.
Next one, one that got mentioned earlier, Callum Wilson on a free.
Yeah, I'd have him, mate. I'd have him.
I'd have him as backup. I know he's had his fitness problems, but him and Bamford can spend time in treatment room together.
Wilson over Vardy.
Well, we'll get to that. Of course, I've put him on the list considering the rants you had about it. Yeah. Fuck it, let's do it now. Jamie Vardy. I won't have him.
Yeah, me neither. I'd have him as third choice.
He's 140 grand a week.
It's not my money. It's not my money, mate.
Yeah, that's what Peter Ridsdale said.
Nah, it's yeah. I've just got a feeling Bamford's staying now, which I didn't when I've done previous videos. So I think that rules out buying an older, experienced head. I think if Bamford went, we'd have been looking in that market. But
the problem with Bamford is now back in Premier League, his wages have gone back up. So
yeah. Mate,
he's on 75 grand a week now, I think.
Yeah,
nobody's going to pay that.
It's not even that though, Priestley. It's not even the fact that he's on this and he's on that, and teams will or won't look at him. It's the way he's carried himself, the way he spoke in these interviews. Seen him at Temple Newsmont Guitar yesterday. Seen him at celebrations. Everything he's saying, he wants another crack at the Premier League. He actually said, mate, on that Foscast, that he wants to have a great season in Premier League for Leeds United and push an England call up, try and get as close as he can to an England call. He's actually said them words as Bamford, which it's great to hear. He must have been, mate. He must have been absolutely smashed. But it sounds wild. But he'll believe in himself as a footballer. Of course he will. They all have egos.
I'll be honest. If he can stay fit, I think he'll be an asset to us.
Well, mate,
if he can stay fit,
I did not think he'd ever be an asset to us. And then look what he done last month. It's just, can he stay fit? That's the issue. But we say that with a lot of people. I've
only got a couple more, I promise.
Yeah,
we've got a player called Kristovic from Lecce in Italy.
Yeah, I did a bit of looking at him the other day, and he looks a promising player, mate. I quite like the look of him. He looks a finisher.
Well, Lecce only scored 27 goals in the league last season.
I like him.
He only scored 27 goals in the league last season, and he was involved in 16 of them.
Yeah, he looks all right. Looks all right. Again, someone I've never heard of before until the link come. Did my old YouTube look at his best bits. I've seen your best bits, Priestley. We'll move on.
That's why these streams always devolve into chaos, because
we haven't spoke about Winston's yet.
Oh God, new sponsor next season, I've heard.
Love it, but no.
When you want a great finish up top.
Yeah, no, I've seen that link as well. He looks an all right player. I don't think he's who will end up going for that. I won't lie.
No.
I won't lie.
Kasper Dolberg from Anderlecht.
Yeah, a lot of people want this guy.
This is one I could get behind.
A lot of people want this guy.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, he's had a really good season.
What's his stats saying, mate?
31 appearances, 18 goals.
Yeah.
And they've qualified for Europa League. Probably would have qualified for the Champions League had they won a couple more games towards the end of the season. But yeah. I mean, he's one of those that were linked a few years ago.
How was it?
Good. How old is he? I think late 20s.
Late 20s. Bit of experience there. Yeah, one of them moved to England and play now or never if he's late 20s. But yeah, there's
2 or 3 English clubs interested in him. Yeah. One of which isn't Everton, surprisingly.
Oh, well. Finally a player they're not asked for.
I think Burnley and Fulham are the other ones interested in him.
Priestley's best bit was in the car after the Swansea game.
You're not wrong.
What a cracking video that, wasn't it? Oh man, yeah.
I'm glad to see that video has now been immortalised in baby AI as well.
Yeah, it has, mate. It has. It'll be forever one of my favourite moments, mate, of this channel. Well, that although, yeah, it only made it because I was so fuming, and you're just forever the optimist. Mate,
just imagine if Melier didn't spoon that last minute equaliser into goal, that video would have never happened.
No, I know. Yeah, through the dark moments, mate, and the pure torture Leeds put us through, sometimes some good little nuggets of entertainment come from that, don't they? And that was definitely one of them, pal. Definitely one of them.
Last one I've got on my list is Promise David.
Yeah, again, gone well quiet. But I tell you what, when I seen him, I was dead excited with that.
He's a unit, isn't he?
He is a unit. He's a sort of striker Leeds need.
I saw a couple of goals he scored, and he's very physical.
Mate, he
looks fast, physical. He's built.
His next stage of his career, mate, is to move to a top league. And let's be fair, he's got to. That's his next move. Will it be Leeds United? I'd say not now. It's gone quiet, but you know, who knows? But that's the profile we need to complement Pirot, not necessarily replacing Priestley.
Yeah, I mean, he's just won league as well in Belgium.
Yeah,
19 goals in 34 appearances.
He's been a machine this season. A couple of assists in there as well. I think he's at about 21 or 22 G&A.
And his market value is only about £5 million as well.
Yeah, but I think they were saying they're wanting around 20, I think, for him, don't they? But
yeah,
he'd be a bit of a gamble, but somebody will take it. Somebody will take it. You know,
it would be a bit of a gamble, but so was Rafinha.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that, mate. I was going to say there'll be a lot of clubs. Well, a lot of big clubs are looking at him. We're obviously a big club, but some people won't pull the trigger on a signing like that. They'll let someone take that gamble first, and then if he does it like with Rafinha, all the sides in the Champions League were looking at Rafinha. They'll at least take him, and then they take him off his hands if they do well. After a couple of seasons, they don't mind paying 2 or 3 times more than we paid them for.
Yeah,
for him,
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, it is for them. It is for them. They've got the money and they can do it. Promise David reminds me of a young Henry. Honestly, he just looks class. At that level, he looks class. And I think if he stays there next season, he'll do even better numbers.
But that's the problem with leagues like that.
Yeah. No, I know.
Because the level between the Premier League and, say, the Belgian League is massive.
Yeah, no, I know.
So we see it time and time. How many times have you seen players banging 30 goals in a foreign country, come over to England and they can barely get half a dozen?
Yeah, no, it happens a lot, mate. It's like I say, you don't mind taking that gamble if it's 7 million, 10 million, and you take a bit of a punt. A 20 million isn't really a punt, is it? 20 million's a massive transfer fee.
Yeah,
that you need to work with. We've had a lot fail, haven't we? JK and stuff like that. We can't really afford it this time around. The only one that I think fully into signing is Elvedi. He wants to leave Germany and got on well with Hager. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I haven't heard much of Elvedi in the last week or two, but he's the one.
I've not heard anything for a while.
But that might just be because, he obviously hasn't been able to sign up till today. definitely there's legs to that. 100% everything you say. There's familiarity there with Farke. He's played under him. He's a leader. He's experienced. He's everything we need in that, that defense for me. So he's someone I could definitely see coming, and someone I'm definitely on board with. I promised David up on YouTube after your video. He looks a beast. He does. Eddie. Like I say, he don't give a true reflection, does it? Because the standard of league and standard of player he's against isn't what he's going to be.
That's the problem with watching. That's the problem with watching highlight reels. The clue is in the name. It's a highlight reel.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. If anyone likes country music, by the way, listen to Tyler Braden, says Dr. Cox. Thank you for that, mate. J.K. Austin was a unit. Augustin. We didn't hear about Rothwell last year, and we signed. Yeah, you're going to see
Rothwell
that, Priestley.
Came out of nowhere.
Priestley, you're going to see. I'm going to be at work one day, and I'm going to get a message off from you about 10 o'clock in the morning saying this is happening, and by 5 o'clock we'll assign someone we didn't know about the day before, or we knew about, but we didn't know we were in for.
Rothwell came out of nowhere.
That will happen. Can't you remember we signed Rodon on loan that first season? That what's same. Rodon came out of nowhere. When we loaned him, that came out of nowhere. Like, signed Joe Rodon. Wow. That'll happen again. Again.
I mean, it gets said a lot. It's become a bit of a cliche term, but the 49ers move in silence.
Yeah, I mean, do we?
They'll have players already lined up. They'll already be speaking to players' agents.
I even think, Priestley, there might even be little tactics go where they put little nuggets out there to divert attention
100%.
While Leeds go over here and do this.
Word after this player so that Burnley will buy him. It turns out to be shit.
It does promise David Comfort with authenticity. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Be quirky. What about surprise for David De Gea?
A bit of surprise.
I'd have him, but yeah, I don't think it'd happen. But I'd have him. It's mad to think he went like a whole year without footballing, didn't he? 2 years ago, mental. But yeah, we just thought we'd come on here, didn't we, and go through, throw the trash out for a bit of a chin wagon.
Should I just do a few minutes on outgoings?
I'd love you to. Go on.
So these are players I expect to leave.
4'2".
4'2", you shoot.
Go on.
Honestly, some of the slander on here is ridiculous. Melier, I'd expect to leave.
Yeah.
Verber. Yeah. Harrison. Gruev, I'd expect to leave.
You expect Gruev to leave?
Yeah.
That's strong.
I know there's a few teams in Germany interested in him. There's a lot of noise around Joseph as well.
A loan or go on a
both?
Yeah.
Because he'll be playing in under 21 Euros this summer. So there'll be a lot of people watching him.
And then I assume all the young lads, I say young lads, but your Greenwood.
Yeah, Joffrey.
No future.
JB, Greenwood. Yeah, I'd expect them to leave.
Maybe Crew stays again but goes on loan. Maybe Crew, another loan.
I'd send Crew out on loan.
Yeah. Do you not see no credence to keeping JB and loaning him out? Or do you think we've seen enough in 2 years that he ain't at it?
It's one of those where I think he's found his level at the Championship. Because I know the Plymouth fans would have been happy to keep him.
Yeah, they would have been.
Not got relegated.
When did they start becoming the Joe Blackburn Priestley show, lol?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Joe Blackburn.
Joe Blackburn is your favourite YouTuber, and he's my best pal sat outside of me. And Joe Blackburn's his favourite YouTuber. Yeah,
he's my favourite YouTuber, and I literally do a YouTube channel with you.
There's definitely no bias there, mate. You just do, don't you? You're there on the treadmill in the morning watching JB do his stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, damn right. Mate, he's always posting really early. No wonder he's always knackered.
Yeah, to be late as well. He's always dead late. I mean, when does he sleep? Joe Blackburn, when do you sleep? Seriously, because when you're not working and doing this, you're doing all other stuff with Creators Cup. When do you sleep? De Bayo stays and goes Rangers, Danny thinks. We should keep Chambers. Chambers will stay, Gray will stay. And they'll be in youth setup. Well, then I reckon them two will tear it up in our youth system this next season.
I would also...
Too young to learn out, Gray, innit?
I would also expect Byram to stay.
I hope so.
Please unlock the device to continue.
Wow. Robots. Honestly, I've got tablets all over here. Eddie, when I met you and Matty at the Bristol game, I expected you to be 6 foot plus. I'd only ever seen you sat down in the chat. You usually lay down with lights off. That's why no one knew what Priestley even looked like till tonight. Like, no one even knew what it looked like. The cat is out of the bag. Oh my word!
Yeah,
I love him.
I might only be short, but I'm a hell of a keeper.
Yeah, mate. He's agile. You're an agile bugger, aren't you? Anyway, ketchup or brown sauce? Or does it matter what with?
It depends on what with.
Come on, tell me what's your ketchup? What do you use ketchup for? On what?
Chips.
Brown sauce?
Bacon sandwich.
What about full English breakfast?
Brown sauce.
What about both? Either side of the plate?
No.
That's me, mate.
That's just weird behaviour.
That's me, mate. That's me. Every single time.
You shouldn't be allowed near kids.
Red sauce next to eggs and bacon, brown sauce next to sausage.
Oh, just wrong.
It's me done that, mate. Bit of both. Does anyone else as well? Do you ever get it where when you're having a full English, you'll get your toast and you'll just dip it straight in your sauce and eat it, but you'd never butter ketchup on a toast, would you? But you dip it, don't you? Come on, you dip your toast in your ketchup, but you'd never straight butter ketchup on a toast, would you? Am I wrong? I've never thought of it until I just started saying it. Then it sounds weird, but
where does this come from?
Come on, you can't tell me you don't dip your toast in your ketchup or your brown sauce.
Well, no,
on a Friday.
I don't.
We do. I can't be the only one who does that. It's true. Danny love vinegar. Don't have sauce on anything. It spoils the taste of your food. Nah, mate. Nah. I don't like it.
That's arguably weirder than having a load of brown sauce and tomato sauce on either side of the plate.
I don't like having food with my sauce because it ruins the taste of my sauce. So I say it. Be quirky. Let's get back to it. I really don't want to see Kalvin back. Step backwards and confidence is shot. Yeah, but I think, like I say, I think he can only come back to sort of play with no at Leeds. But yeah, I don't think I want him if I'm honest. But
there's also been stuff about Firpo leaving.
Well, he's not. He's gone in him, mate. He's gone. I don't think he's staying now, buddy. I think he's gone. Rusty Tin Can.
He goes with my best. He goes with my best wishes. And
yeah, too right. It's cracking time to leave, mate. For a minute, to be fair, leave. Go down in folklore history now as a champion, and those couple of rough years are left behind now, mate. And he's a bit of a legend around the.
I don't think even if he does stay, we need another left back.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to be going into the new Premier League season with Firpo at left back.
My issue with Firpo going, Priestley, isn't even the fact Firpo's going. It's the fact we probably need 2 left backs now. That's the issue. And I love Byram and I hope Byram stays, but I still don't want Byram as second choice left back.
What about Schmidt?
I always forget about him, mate. That's down to Daniel Farker. That is he even a left back? We haven't seen him at left back really. We've seen him on at wing. I don't know, mate. It's a toughie. If he weren't good enough in Championship, and I think he was, he didn't get minutes in Championship. Why do I think he'll get minutes in Premier League? He played 100 minutes all season or something ridiculous. I don't know why we expect him to get minutes in Prem. So it's a difficult one.
But we go back to needing a squad.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I'm just going through these now because we've got a collage of these. I dip my sausage in the brown sauce.
Is that a euphemism?
100% what from Sean. Bacon butter with brown sauce is a crime in my house. It's got to have ketchup, mate. It's got to. No one older than 12 uses ketchup on anything.
I'll tell you something. If brown sauce on a bacon sandwich is a crime in your house, then lock me up.
Question: why do they put beans in a pot on the plate? Do people not really want them touched? Yeah, my family's well weird. When I got a spoons for the brekkie, honestly, chopping this, changing that, can I have my beans in a pot? It does my head in, but yeah, I don't know. Kids do that a lot.
I've never understood that either. It's just more washing up to do.
Oh, Matty, tell us that Greg story. That yes, I went to Greg's last week. Well, I go most days, and I asked for a sarnie, and I wanted. Can I have quite a bit of sauce on? Well, I asked for ketchup. Can I have quite a bit of ketchup on that, love? And she went, yeah. And she went away. And honestly, I ain't joking. She was dead quiet, and she put a bit of sauce on. She quiet. Can I have quite a bit of sauce on that? Meaning, can I have fucking loads on? And she quietly put a bit on. And I got to the car, and honestly, it was a crime how much sauce she put on. I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. I didn't even want to eat it because it had no sauce on. But yeah, that was it, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously didn't stop you, did it?
It didn't, mate. I almost took a finger off as well, mate. I was ravenous. I won't lie. But yeah, no. I love catching up with you, mate. We'll have to do it more often. Now it's pre-season and all that. Well, not pre-season. Now it's the off-season. We don't see it every week like we did under the reviews.
I mean, it's only what 7 weeks till Creators Cup. So enjoy what use of your legs you've got left.
It's gonna, mate. How chuffed are you playing against me?
Oh, I'm delighted.
How chuffed are you?
I can't wait.
The teams have come out, aren't they? The lineups have come out, aren't they?
Yeah,
I've seen people post them, so it's quite exciting. You've got Simon Johnson on your side, ex-Leeds player. Sanchez Payne. Sanchez what? Sanchez Payne, is it? Which one is it? Is it the same guy? Sanchez Payne, I think it is. Playing for Leeds. Played for Leeds.
He's from Radio Leeds, isn't he?
I actually sure, mate. Am I getting mixed up with Sanchez Watt?
No, Sanchez Watt did play for Leeds, but there was also a player in the youth team in the 90s called Sanchez Payne.
Right, okay. So that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't believe that's the same guy because I think he's now I think the Sanchez Payne you're thinking of is a radio presenter.
Right, okay. Did the other new signing for the Yorkshire Roses get officially announced? The exciting one, the one who you were telling me about a bit of when you were in that pub that day and there was someone doing something on a wall. On the wall.
Mr. Burley Banksy himself.
He got announced that, didn't he? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, he's on the squad.
He's in my squad. It's so exciting, mate. I can't wait. Obviously, we've got that.
Honestly, I was telling people about it, and I'm gonna start posting links like in my pool group. I'm gonna share a link to the website so people can donate.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like it's starting to pick up a bit of traction now, and everyone's talking about it. All of the creators now are talking about it, and I'm dead excited for it.
Once you did that baby video, I'm like, right, I need to start using this to advertise now. Yeah, even if you did somehow turn Joe Wayman into a Geordie.
Mate, he hasn't spoken to me since that video.
I
messaged him a couple of. He messaged him and goes, "I out of Geordie, you cheeky twat." And he says, "It is what it is. It's the same thing." And then I messaged him the other day, and he just read it and didn't reply. Like, fair enough. That's me on bench. Richard Hogan, Priestley, have you got a vintage Leeds goalkeeper jersey? I don't think. Well, have you? I've never seen you wear a goalie top.
No, I did have one years ago when I was a kid that was signed by Mark Beanie.
Did you?
But I don't know where that's gone. No. I tend not to buy goalkeeper tops. Mainly because this season it made me like a packet of Squares crisps.
Spray paint it on.
That's a cheek.
Priestley has a kid for Leeds. He's never been on a roller coaster even, have you, Priestley? Can't get over the line, can you? Just can't get over the line. Look at him. Just never come back. We love you.
Scandalous.
We love you. Right, we'll wrap it up at that. Yeah, I enjoyed you being on, mate. If we don't, it'll just keep going. They tried to do it to me last night, but just try and keep going on time. But yeah,
some of us have got to get up and go to work at morning and not spend all day sending voice notes and making TikToks.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I'll have to do something this week because I've got a busy week. But yeah, we'll call it a day there. Thanks for coming on, Priestley. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no worries. Happy to do it.
People didn't mind a bit of light-hearted waffle about a load of crap, but yeah, we're really nice. So yeah, please.
It started off as transfer rumors and devolved into HP chat.
Yeah, it ended up where we all dip a sausage, but it were brilliant. You know what we're like when we get together. Loads of innuendos, loads of laughs and giggles. But I love you, brother, and I'm gutted I don't get to see you every week and go to Welland Road. But we don't have mascots for the little one. Yeah. Anyways, right. Please smash a like. Please subscribe. Yeah. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one at some point this week. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for coming.
Take care. Speak to you all soon. Bye.